I walked into his penthouse with one mission: break his heart. I wasn't supposed to feel anything, but somewhere between the lies, the late night talks, and the way he looked at me like I mattered, I forgot the plan. And what came next changed everything. Hey, y'all! If you love juicy love stories with a twist, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a heart in the comments, and stay till the end. 'Cause this one, whew, it's a ride. My name doesn't matter much, but what I've been through does. I'm just a regular black woman trying to survive in a world that doesn't give you many breaks. Life hadn't been kind lately. Rent overdue, my little sister needed school money, and my mum's medicine wasn't cheap. I was doing everything I could to stay afloat, hustling 2 jobs, barely sleeping, and carrying the weight of a heart that had been shattered more than once. Love. I had stopped believing in that a long time ago. I didn't have time to dream. I was too busy surviving. Then she found me, this woman, polished, rich, and cold as glass. She said his name like it meant power. She knew my struggles, my desperation, and she offered me more money than I'd ever seen. All I had to do was get close to him, earn his trust, make him fall, and then walk away, leave him broken. It wasn't about love, it was about revenge. I didn't ask questions, I didn't need to. At the time, it felt like survival. I told myself I could do it, I could fake it. After all, my own heart was numb. What harm could it do? Turns out, more than I ever imagined. I started studying him like it was homework. This man wasn't just rich, he was powerful, respected, and completely untouchable. He didn't do random hookups, he didn't trust easily, and he definitely didn't fall for just any woman. So I had to become his type, whatever that meant. I spent days scrolling through gossip blogs, interviews, photos from events, looking at the women he used to date. Stylish, confident, mysterious. I saved every detail: what they wore, how they walked, even how they smiled. I couldn't afford designer, but I made thrift look expensive. Got a sleek new wig, learned how to do my makeup like the girls on YouTube, and even watched videos to get my posture right. It wasn't just about looks, though. He liked women who could talk about business, art, travel, so I read articles I didn't understand, watched documentaries I could barely stay awake through. Every detail mattered. I wasn't just pretending, I was building a character, a woman he wouldn't be able to ignore. The first time I saw him in person, it was at a gallery opening downtown. I wore a black dress I borrowed from a friend and heels that made my toes scream. He walked in with that calm, quiet energy, like he owned the whole room without saying a word. I felt my heart pound. He didn't look at me at first, but I made sure I passed him twice. On the third time, I accidentally dropped my clutch. He helped me pick it up, and when our hands touched, I smiled and said, "Thanks. I'm always a little clumsy around art." He smiled back, just a little. That was the beginning. He noticed me, and the game officially started. After that night at the gallery, I kept showing up, like I was just naturally part of his world. I found out where he went for brunch, the gym he liked, even the jazz club he visited once a week. I wasn't stalking him, not exactly. I was just making sure I was always in the right place at the right time. At first, it was small talk, casual smiles. He'd offer to buy me a drink or walk me to my car. Every time, I dropped just enough charm to keep him wondering, never too much, never too eager. Men like him, they chase mystery, not desperation. I kept it cute, kept it smart. I told him I was in marketing, working freelance, trying to build something of my own. That wasn't a complete lie, just not the whole truth. He liked that I had ambition. He'd say, "Most people just want access to my world. You want to build your own." That line almost made me forget I was playing a role. Then came the dinners, just the two of us, long conversations over candlelight. He listened, like really listened, and remembered the little things I said. One night, I mentioned I missed my grandma's sweet potato pie, and the next week, he had one delivered to my apartment. I laughed so hard I cried. I told myself this was just part of the plan. Keep him hooked, make him fall. But every time he looked at me like I was more than just a pretty face, I started to believe it. It was getting harder to keep my feelings out of it, harder to lie. I thought I was in control. But somewhere between the flirting and the fake laughs, I realized I was falling for the man I was sent to ruin. One night changed everything. We had gone out to this quiet rooftop bar. It wasn't flashy like the other places. It felt personal, private. He wasn't acting like the billionaire everyone feared or admired. He was just a man. That night, he seemed distracted, quiet, like something was pulling at him from the inside. I asked gently, "You okay?" He didn't answer right away, just stared out at the city lights, then said, "You ever feel like people only come around when they want something from you?" I didn't know what to say because I was one of those people, but he kept talking. He told me about his childhood, about growing up poor, how his mother worked 2 jobs and still couldn't keep the lights on some months, about a business partner who stole from him, a friend who betrayed him, and a fiancé who left the moment things got hard. He didn't cry, but I saw it in his eyes. He'd been carrying all this pain alone for a long time. I should have felt proud. The plan was working. He was opening up, letting me in. But instead, I felt sick. Because this wasn't just strategy anymore. This was real. And the more I learned about him, the more I saw the truth behind his perfect suit and polished smile, the loneliness, the scars, the fear of never being loved for who he really was. That night, he looked at me and said, "You're different. I don't know why, but when I'm with you, I don't feel like I have to pretend." And I wanted to scream, because I was pretending, but the feelings, those were real. And for the first time, I didn't want to break his heart. I wanted to protect it. Just when everything was starting to feel real, she came back. The woman who hired me, the one who started this whole mess, called me out of nowhere. Her voice was sharp, like a knife wrapped in silk. "You've been with him long enough," she said. "It's time." Time, I wanted to ask. Time for what? But I already knew. She wanted dirt. She wanted destruction. She wanted proof that he trusted me, that he was vulnerable, so she could ruin him. This wasn't about money anymore. This was personal for her. And I was just a tool in her revenge plan. I tried to stall, told her I needed more time, but she wasn't having it. "Don't forget why you're there," she snapped. "I paid you to break him, not fall for him." I hung up the phone, hands shaking. That night, he invited me over to his penthouse. It should have been romantic. The view was beautiful, soft music playing, and he made me dinner himself. But I could barely eat. My stomach was twisted with guilt. Then he looked me straight in the eyes and asked, "Is there something you're not telling me?" I froze. All the air left the room. Did he know? Did he feel it? I wanted to tell him everything, how it started, why I did it, and how I never meant to feel the way I do now. But my mouth wouldn't move. So I lied. I smiled and said, "No, nothing at all." He nodded, but I could tell he didn't believe me. In that moment, I knew 2 things. 1, I was in way too deep. And 2, if the truth came out, I wouldn't just break his heart. I'd lose the only man I'd ever truly loved. I thought I had more time. I thought maybe I could fix it somehow, come clean on my terms, in my own way. But life doesn't wait for perfect timing, and secrets don't stay buried forever. It all fell apart on a Thursday. He called me, asked if I could come over. His voice was cold, flat. Not like him. I felt it in my chest, the shift. Something was wrong. When I walked into his place, he didn't kiss me, didn't smile, just handed me his phone. There was a screenshot on the screen, my text messages, with her, the woman who hired me, all my lies, all my planning, right there in black and white. "I had someone look into you," he said quietly. "I wanted to be wrong." I opened my mouth, but no words came out. I had rehearsed the truth 100 times, but in that moment, it didn't matter. The damage was already done. "I trusted you," he said, his voice breaking for the first time. "I let you in, And all this time, you were just playing me." "No," I whispered. "It started like that. But I swear, I never meant to fall for you." He laughed, not out of humor, out of disbelief. "You didn't just break my heart. You made me believe I could be loved." I tried to touch his hand, but he pulled away. That moment, it shattered me, because I realized the thing I feared most had happened. I hadn't just ruined him, I had ruined us. He told me to leave, and I did, because what else could I do? I walked out of that penthouse knowing the truth was finally out, and it might have cost me the only real love I ever knew. After that night, I disappeared. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. I couldn't face him, couldn't face myself. I stayed in my little apartment, curtains drawn, ignoring calls from friends who had no idea what was going on. I barely ate. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face, hurt, betrayed, broken, and it was my fault. I kept replaying it all in my head, how I got there, why I agreed to it. I wanted to blame the woman who used me, the money I needed, the past I was running from. But deep down, I knew. I made the choice. So I made another one. I called her, the woman who hired me, and told her I was done. No more lies, no more games. She threatened me, said I'd regret it, but I'd already lost the one thing that mattered. What else could she take? I started over, got a new job, went to therapy, faced my mistakes. I wasn't doing it for him anymore, I was doing it for me. Even if I never saw him again, I wanted to become the kind of woman I'd lied about being. For real, this time. Months passed, life moved on, even though my heart still hadn't. I poured myself into work, kept my head down, and tried to stay focused on healing. Some days were better than others. I was learning to live without him, but that didn't mean I stopped loving him. Then one rainy evening, it happened. I was walking home from the train, hoodie up, headphones in, when I felt someone watching me. I turned, and there he was, standing across the street, soaked, no umbrella, just there. My heart stopped. We didn't speak right away, just stared at each other like we were both trying to figure out if this was real. Then he walked up, looked me straight in the eyes, and said, "I've been angry, hurt, but I never stopped thinking about you." I held my breath. He continued, "You lied, but you also loved me, and I still love you too." I cried, right there in the rain. He didn't care. He just pulled me into his arms and held me like he'd been waiting to exhale for months. We didn't fix everything that night, but we started something new, something honest, and this time it was real. Starting over with him wasn't easy. We had to unlearn the lies, rebuild trust from the ground up. There were hard conversations, silent dinners, moments when we almost gave up. But we didn't, because this time we were choosing each other for real. He didn't try to hide his pain, and I didn't run from my guilt. Instead, we faced it, together. We talked about everything, why I did it, what he went through, how broken we both were before we met, and how somehow, through all the chaos, we had saved each other. He told me something one night that I'll never forget. "I don't love the woman you pretended to be," he said. "I love the woman you've become." That meant everything. We didn't go back to who we were before. We became something stronger. He supported my dreams, and I supported his heart. Not because of money, not because of guilt, but because we wanted to. I never imagined real love would come out of a lie, but maybe that's the thing about life. It's messy, it's painful, and sometimes it surprises you when you least deserve it. And somehow, in all that mess, I found my forever. If this story touched your heart, leave a comment and tell me what part hit you the hardest. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real love stories told from the soul.